Hey guys. Um, I just posted and filmed my August book haul, but after I did that, I realized I didn't make my August TBR video. So that's what I'm here to do. I have a pretty big um August not book haul, sorry, August TBR. Um I think the first book that I'm going to get done for my August TBR is Roomies by Sarah Czar and Tara Altebrando. I am almost finished with it, so this is probably going to be the first book. I'm also currently reading this. This is probably going to be the first book that I finish that's off my TBR for the month of August. I'm really enjoying it so far. I started it not yesterday, but the day before that, so I think Sunday. It's very fast paced. It's very, very good. It's 279 pages, so I'm almost there. It's very good. This is the second book that I've read by Tara Altebrando, and the first book I've read by Sarah Czar. It's about two girls who get assigned to be each other's roommates, like roommates in college, and one of them is unexpectedly gets assigned the roommate because she asked for a single bed. So for like a single room. And they just communicate through emails and everything before the school year starts. And it's really interesting to me because I, however, am in college myself. So I can really relate to this, although I've never dormed before. I've always really wanted to. But I can relate to this book. It's very good. I'm almost done with it, like I said. I think I can finish it tonight and have one book off my TBR for August. But I'm very excited to finish this and look forward to seeing what happens. The next book I have on my TBR is No Good Deed by Glody Malovichetsky. I'm very sorry if I butchered your name. But, I've seen this book going around BookTube. I saw Kat over at Katie-tastic talk about this book, and then I think, I could be wrong, but I think I also saw Christina over at the Princess Gummy Bear talk about this book as well. So when I heard the premise, it sucked me right in. So this is the next book that I'm going to be getting to. I got it out of the library because I've been doing that lately. So I've been doing that. If I want to read a book from now on, I'll get it out of the library, and if I like it, then I will buy a physical copy for myself. But I'm very excited to read this. This is probably the next book I'm going to get to probably tonight, since I'm almost finished with that other book. But I'm just really excited to read this. It seems very, very interesting, and the cover part of it here is very interesting, is very creative, and also the back as well. But I'm very excited to read this book, and it seems so good, and it looks really good to read, and I probably can read this very quickly. The next book I have is I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. I also saw Kat over at Katie-tastic talk about this book. The premise, when I was watching her video talk about this, the premise seemed very interesting. So that's kind of what drew me to read this book. And I'm just very excited to read this. And I look forward to reading it. It's been blurbed by Morgan Matson and Melissa De La Cruz. I own a couple of Melissa De La Cruz's books, but I have not read them yet. I own Girl Stays in the Picture and The Isle of the Lost, To Return to the Isle of the Lost, and Rise of the Isle of the Lost, all by Melissa De La Cruz. And I own The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, so I'm very excited to read this book and get to it and see what it's all about. But I forgot the premise of this book, and I also forgot the premise of this book, but I remember them, but I don't remember them off the top of my head, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. But the next book I have is The Leaving, by another one by Tara Alter-Brando. I'm really liking Tara Alter-Brando's books so far. This is pretty long. This is 421 pages, but I'm really liking Tara Alter-Brando's book so far. I definitely heard Christina over at the Princess Gummy Bear talk about this book. And when I heard the premise about it, and when I heard her read, 6 were taken, 5 came back. That kind of really intrigued me to figure out what happened and how it happened and everything. And I kind of forgot what this book is about, but I don't want to read the synopsis to it because, it says 11 years ago, 6 kindergartens went missing without a trace. After all of that time, the people left behind moved on or tied to until today. Today, 5 of those kids return. They're 16 and they're fine. Scarlett comes home and finds a mom she barely recognizes and doesn't really recognize that person she's supposed to be either. But she thinks she remembers Lucas. Lucas remembers Scarlett, to accept they're entirely able to recall where they've been or what happened to them. Neither of them remembers the 6th victim. Max, the only one not to come back, which leaves Max's sister Avery wanting answers. She wants to find her brother dead or alive and isn't buying this whole memory loss story. But as details of their disappearance begin to unfold, no one is prepared for the truth. With rich characters, suspenseful storytelling, and high stakes, this novel is unforgettable. But I just liked the premise of it when she explained it. But I'm not very good at explaining unless I've started reading the book. Then I can tell you like what it's really about. But I'm just not very good at that thing, so my apologies. But I'm just very excited to read this book. The next book that I have here is Spark by Amy Kathleen Ryan. I read Glow in July, and I did not like it at all. I did not like it at all. So I've been taking a break from the series and reading the books that I got out of the library now. But I'm going to pick this series back up. This is the second book. This is the second book in the Glow series. But I'm hoping that the series gets better and not worse. But I'm just intrigued and to read this, and I hope it gets better. The next book I have is Flame, also by Amy Kathleen Ryan. This is the third and final book in the Glow series, but like I said, I read Glow, and I just didn't really like it all that much. And I'm just really excited to read, and I'm intrigued and hoping the series gets better, and yeah, that's honestly all I have to say about it. The next book is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is when this first came out, this was going around BookTube everywhere. And it's taken, so I bought it when I heard about it. It's taken me a long time to read this book. I have not read it yet, but I really want to. I forgot, this is a retelling of a Disney princess, but I forgot which one. I think Cinderella? But I could be wrong. I think it's Cinderella. It might be Cinderella, but I don't really know because I forgot, because it's been a while since this book came out, and I forgot which princess it is. But I'm very excited to read this book, and I've been wanting to read it for years, so I finally am, and I'm hoping I can read it pretty quickly in this month. The next book I have is Fury by Elizabeth Miles. I've heard a little bit about this going around BookTube when it first came out, but not a lot. I looked it up on Goodreads. I looked it up on Goodreads, and it has a lot of good reviews for it. So I'm very excited to read this book. I've been wanting to read it forever, and now I can this month, so I'm hoping to get to this month. The next book I have is Envy, also by Melissa Meyer. Also by Elizabeth Miles. This is the second book in the Fury trilogy. And I honestly can't say anything about it because I haven't read the trilogy yet. But now that I own all 3 books, I'm very excited to get to this trilogy, and I'm hoping I can read the whole trilogy this month. The next book I have is, what is it? I could not pronounce the name. Eternity, also by Elizabeth Miles. This is the 3rd book in the Fury trilogy, but like I said, I'm just looking forward to getting to this book this month, and I'm hoping I can just marathon read the whole series. The last book in my August TBR is Skinny Dipping by Bethany Frankel. I read one of her books already. Her first book is Naturally Thin, and I have one of her other books called I Suck at Relationships, So You Don't Have to. She's one of the Real Housewives of New York City. Her first book was okay. It was more like a diet-y kind of book, so I didn't really relate to it, but I did enjoy it, so I'm looking forward to getting to another. This is a novel, so, and I think it's based in New York and LA, actually. So I'm very excited. I like both New York and LA. I was just in LA in June, so I'm just really excited to get to this. And it's short-ish, so I'm hoping I can read this pretty quickly. Alright, that was my August TBR. And I will have another video up soon. So I'm hoping maybe I'll do like a book haul in a couple weeks or something like that in the next like 2 weeks or so. But if not, I will just see you here with my August wrap up and my September TBR and my September book haul. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.